B. Sanders of the Farm Bureau, Jay Tamsey of the Kern County Hispanic Chamber, Kim Schaefer of the Board of Realtors, Nick Ortiz of the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce, John Morris of the Young Farmers, and of course, thank you, Blodgett, for all your help tonight. I believe you want to start off with prayer. Flag salute. Jim, is that you?
Sure.
Come on up.
Can you all please stand and join me? Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing.
Please remain standing for prayer. If you could all bow your heads. Dear Lord, we just come to you this evening to thank you for this time. We thank you for everybody that's here. We just ask that you bless the next hour or so in conversations and just guide these two up at the podium tonight. Guide the conversations and just be with all of our family who couldn't be here this evening. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
All right, we've got two survivors of one of the most amazing mayoral races I think I've ever seen. I believe it was 25 candidates we had. Theo Douglas nods yes, 25 candidates we had running back in June, and these two were by far the two top vote getters. Very, very close between these two, and I'm delighted to be part of this show. Kyle Carter, nearest me, and Kieran Go. So thanks very much for very briefly, the rules tonight. Each candidate will be given an opening statement of a minute and a half. We've got 8 questions. All these questions are known to me in advance. Questions 1 through 4 came from the committee, and questions 5 through 8 came from social media, screened by the committee. Each person will have the opportunity to answer a question within a 1 minute period of time. The other candidate has a 1 minute period of time, 30 seconds for a response from each candidate, and then we move on to the next question. So, without further ado, I'll start with question number 1. And, Blodgett, does it matter who starts where? Or do I get to decide that?
I get to introduce yourself.
Oh, well, let's do it.
Karen will start.
Okay, Karen, opening statement from Karen Go.
Good evening. Thank you so much, hosts, for being here, and thank the audience for being here. I'm running for mayor because I believe in the great people of our community, all the people in every part of the community. And I want to take what is already so good and make it even better. My focus as mayor will be to be a friend to the business community, to enable it to grow, invest, and succeed, and in so doing, create good jobs. Secondly, to promote safe and clean neighborhoods, and thirdly, to provide those opportunities for young people that we know education, apprenticeships, training can bring. I have a depth of experience that I believe will benefit our community in 3 ways. First, business experience. I worked in the high-paced world of New York City in a Fortune 500 company. Secondly, government services, serving as county supervisor, $2 billion budget. And then thirdly, community involvement. People always say, where is Karen Go? She is everywhere. And that's where I will always be. So I really believe that greater things are yet to come, and I'm looking forward to bringing that depth of experience to have greater things in our fantastic city.
All right, thank you. John Hunter, opening statement.
I feel like I'm sitting in a hole. I'm Kyle Carter. I'm running for Bakersfield mayor, as you all know, and I'm here to ask you to vote tonight. I was born here in Bakersfield 9 years ago at Memorial Hospital. I grew up here. I went to neighborhood schools and raised my family here as well. My wife and I have 4 daughters between us. We enjoy Bakersfield. Bakersfield's been very, very good to me, and I feel very blessed to be a part of this community. Over the last 41 years, I have started 20 businesses and ran them. Every one of them have been successful. I have built literally thousands of homes, and I've employed many thousands of people. I've not only employed them, I've also trained them as well. So that's something that has been near and dear to my heart, creating jobs, and then training people how to do those jobs, and then building homes and communities for people. That's just been my life's passion my whole life. And I want to continue that on into being a mayor into the last part of my life. People keep telling me that this mayor's job is a highly ceremonial position, and I take issue with that a little bit. I think that it's more than that. If you look at the city charter, you can see that the mayor's job is actually to promote economic growth in our community. I'd like to take the opportunity as mayor to do that, and do that very well. And if you look at my past experience and the past things I've done, you've seen that's what I've done for the last 41 years. One of the reasons I want to run for mayor is because I'm not a politician. I think that we need a businessman in that mayor's position.
Let's pick up the rest of that introduction through the questions.
Okay, well, I think we can just pop till your eyes glaze over.
But I'll tell you what, Kyle, I'll let you take the first question. And you've got a minute for this.
Let me,
I'll go and ask the question.
you didn't set it up for a minute.
We'll wing it. Kyle, Bakersfield is the 9th largest city in California, and it operates on a council-manager form of government where the part-time council members provide oversight, and the mayor has a largely ceremonial role. The day-to-day activities are managed by the city manager. However, all of the other cities in the top 10 in California have a strong or stronger, unquote, mayor system. Are you interested in pursuing a strong mayor system? Why or why not?
Well, first off, I don't think your numbers are quite right. There's not all of them. There's 2 of us that actually have a strong city manager, and can't right off think of what it was, but I was just reading this the other night. So I think I like it the way it is, to be honest with you. It's we don't have to employ a full-time city council. As mayor, I think that we look at you think, well, the president of the United States is a 4-year president, 4-year term. But as a mayor of a city, it's running a city is a lot different than running the United States. So we need that long period of time to get things done in a city. It just takes a long time, such as the Rabobank Arena. We would probably not have a Rabobank Arena if every 4 years we had a new administration come in and change course, change direction. So that's just one of the things that I think we could see. Also, I like having a mayor that has a diploma, or a city manager that has a diploma hanging on the wall that says, I got a master's degree in how to run this city. I think if we hire somebody who has, some kind of lesser degree that doesn't involve running a city, we're going to have some issues with that.
All right, well, thank you, Kyle. To clarify, by the way, on the last question, 2 of the other 9 have strong mayors, and of the others, there is a stronger mayor, stronger than the Bakersfield mayor is set to be. That's my understanding.
So there's strong and stronger.
Exactly.
Maybe even strongest.
Could be, yeah. Could be. Karen, the same question for you.
No, I don't think the people of our city want a king. We need a strong advocate. We need a voice piece for all of your issues. We don't need to take on any more expensive employees or added layer of bureaucracy. The current structure of part-time mayor, part-time council members who hire and oversee a professional city manager is a good and efficient structure. And it provides government by you, government by the people, for the people, through elected representatives who have to work at regular jobs just like everybody else. But it also provides for an experienced, full-time, professional manager. And in 1996, we turned over the state to from a part-time legislature to a full-time We're one of the few. The majority of states in the United States do it the other way. We don't need to waste our money that way. We need to be able to focus. Take our money where it really is going to make a difference.
It's actually working, okay? Right. Thank you, Karen. Now, each of you has 30 seconds to expand on what you said before. Kyle, would you like 30 seconds to talk more about this?
First off, you did a good job. I thoroughly agree. I don't think that we need a strong mayor in our city.
Okay. Karen, anything else to
Just
add?
for clarification, the council manager format was actually developed to get rid of abuse. And so prior people saw that as a potential for an abuse when everything is under one. And if you can look at the way that our forefathers set it up with executive, legislative, and judicial branches, you had government that was spread across that could be efficient. And so that was the roots. Do we need an advocate? Absolutely. That's what I plan to be for you. And in having a professional manager, that frees me up to be an advocate for your issues, for farming issues, for water issues, for real estate issues, for business development issues, for economic development issues. Whatever your issues are, that's what the mayor can then celebrate and advocate for.
All right, thank you. All right, question number 2. I'll start with you this time, Karen.
Are we looking corny by leaning into it? So Jay wants me to stand up. I don't like this. This is a lot better. Thank you.
Let's improve your posture, both of you.
All right, let's try that time.
Okay, Karen, I'll start with you. Our timers say go for it, okay? What do you want to accomplish as mayor of Bakersfield, and how do you intend to accomplish that?
Job one for me is going to be to improve the economic climate for our city, to expand job opportunities for our people, open new doors for businesses to thrive, and start hiring for good jobs. As county supervisor, I actually had the privilege of partnering, and I always say partnering, with Kern EDC to help bring the warehouse, distribution centers, Caterpillar, Dollar General, Famous Footwear, which brought hundreds of jobs here. We have to continue bringing new businesses. However, business retention and expansion is really considered as probably the most critical piece of development for our economy. 80% of new jobs and capital investment is created because of retention and expansion. So as a mayor, I can be a great encourager, a facilitator, but not only a red ribbon cutter, but a red tape cutter for employers. And after the ribbon is cut, I plan to consistently visit businesses and help them to grow.
Thank you, Karen. Beat comes along pretty quickly, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Kyle, same question.
Well, I agree. Job number 1 is to create jobs here in Bakersfield. Things we need to diversify away from that. We have other industries come in here. I think that I'm probably better suited than my opponent here to do that because I've done it for 41 years. I've started 20 businesses in my last 41 years. I don't know of anybody that can break that record. Anyway, and they're all successful. So job growth is number 1. Number 2 would be education. I'm a trustee on the Kern Community College District. And one of the legs that has to do with job growth is, and diversifying job growth, is education. We need to take and educate with vocational training to get those different kinds of jobs. When they come and do their site seeking, when they look to a different town or a different region to bring a type of company in, one of the things they ask is, do you have a trained employment base here?
We'll come back to you. Karen, Kyle says he's better suited to bring business. You have 30 seconds to tell him while he's wrong.
2 other issues related to job growth, though: crime and education, apprenticeships. But why do we need somebody who has worked in a narrow field? The breadth and depth of experience I bring is really what's necessary. When you're attracting businesses, highlighting that we're the fastest growing in the economy since 2001, cost of doing business is 93% of the U.S. average, location 4-hour drive from 90% of our state's population. You need somebody who can relate to people. You need somebody who can attract people, and taking all the skills from a Fortune 500 company, from government, and from community involvement is what I plan to bring.
Kyle, 30 seconds more for you.
Well, she says I'm from a narrow range. I started 20 businesses. One of them was obviously a home building business. I had 2 real estate companies. I had a mortgage company. I had a furniture store. I had a trucking company. I had a tractor business. I could go on and on. I was the largest swimming pool builder in Kern County for a long time. I can go on and on and on about all the different kinds of businesses. I owned a record company. We made records. Now I own a storage facility. So I own a lot of different kinds of businesses, and I know how to run those.
Okay, changing up in a big way here. I'll start with you, Kyle. What's your position on the proposed alignment of high-speed rail through Kern County, and specifically through Bakersfield, utilizing an F Street station location?
Well, first off, I'd rather have water. I think that we really, as a city and a county, we need to concentrate on water. I would rather have water 100 times more than high-speed rail. But high-speed rail is good too because it provides jobs. So I'm going to let the experts figure out where the high-speed rail location is supposed to go, and then I'll critique it from there. I think that's what we should do, is let the people who know what they're doing do that. But I'm excited about the high-speed rail because it does bring jobs. Would rather have water, though.
Karen, high-speed rail.
Yes, indeed, we do need water. I have to start my answer with a big if. So if the high-speed rail project continues to move forward to the point of construction, we definitely want the heavy maintenance facility in our community. So if that were the case, certainly there would be a lot of support from my part, great advocacy. We would have to start now to keep building. But again, we'll let the experts decide on the actual location. But again, it's a big if. We have to be able to afford. We have to be able to afford. I love trains. I live back east. Those are great. But again, we have to be able to afford what we have in our community. We have to be responsible in that regard. So whether the high-speed rail should be built, that's a different question altogether.
All right. Kyle, in a follow-up, address the part of the question about utilizing an F Street location.
That's a great location. It's been a great location for a lot of different businesses over the years. We were eyeballing it as a location for one of our businesses at one point in time. I think that would be a great spot for it personally, for people to be able to walk down and get on the train. And that's kind of the idea of it. If you want to talk about high-speed rail, China, for the last 10 years has spent $10 billion a year on high-speed rail for the last 10 years. And here we are looking at spending $62 billion and kind of saying, whoa, I don't think we can afford that. So just some stuff to consider.
Karen, we talked about a downtown station. We've talked about one up at the airport. We've talked about different locations. Right now, F Street is the one that's kind of on at the top of the list. What's your take on that particular location?
F Street certainly has its advantages, but other areas also do in terms of the walkability. So having that access of clusters is very, very important. So we've heard advocates on both sides talk about the pluses and the minus. I'll let, again, the experts decide that, but what we want is that accessibility. So when people get off, are they actually using, contributing to our economy? Are they actually within walking distance of the things that they need?
All right, Karen, for the next question, I'll start with you. Most Californians don't know the sources of their water supplies, and they don't understand the local impacts of water scarcity in the state. What are you willing to do to educate the community on California's water crisis? What do you view as the city's role in groundwater management, and what projects or partnerships do you view as most critical, and why?
You know, we've heard the term water wars, and why do we talk about water wars? It's because when there is no water, people will fight for water and fight hard. Are we there yet? That's what we have to do as a community, and as mayor, I can be that advocate to help in the issues that are very important. We have to be able to highlight our need for water. Looking up at the allocation, are we getting our fair allocation? You are paying for water, but we keep hearing over and over again from farmers, we're not getting our fair allocation. On the short term, turn on the pumps and move the water down. Minimize regulations and get a seat at the table. And so I would commit to you to help build coalition. Central Valley, including Southern California, extending all the way down. That's how we get things done when we have that coalition. Maintaining groundwater, Sigma is right upon us, and each district should really have the ability to oversee its own district.
Cut. Your thoughts on educating the public about water?
Yeah, water here, I think that would be one of my main focuses. We need to take it top to bottom. It needs to be something that's talked about around every table, every dinner table at night. It's something that as a community we need to come by and forcibly go take control of. I'm not a politician, so I was trying to write my ballot statement, and I was looking in the internet and trying to find ballots. Well, the politicians up north, what they're promising their constituents, if they vote for them, the people down south, those greedy people down south aren't going to get their water, and they're going to make darn sure of it. So I think we need to look at different situations for water. We need to be proactive, and we need to look at ways to save water. At Kern Community College District right now, we're looking at hydroponics. With hydroponics, we can water our crops. We can grow a lot of different vegetables and fruits with 1/10 amount of water that we have with conventional farming. So we need to change the way we do things. We need to change the way the place we're looking for water as well.
Karen?
I'd like to go into that for a little bit if you let me.
I'll make the rules. We can talk later. Karen, what's the city's role in
So the city's role is to be an advocate, to make sure that we have a place at the table. And that, as I said earlier, is building coalition. We have to keep maintaining that local control, which is what we have the opportunity to do. Also, educate. We have to educate not only our local community, but those at the state of the real issues that are relevant to our community. We are different from San Francisco. We're different from other areas of the community. We need to let people know. It's easy as farmers for you to know what your needs are, but we have to get that word out and educate others. Conserve, educate.
Kyle, we got 30 seconds to finish up on that question.
Well, again, water is our number one issue here in Bakersfield, and as mayor, that will be one of my number one issues to go and tackle. It's kind of a full-time job. It's something that I have read a lot about, and I'm going to jump on with both feet. It doesn't seem like I get deep into anything, so it's hard to go from there.
We've got Theo Douglas here, who you can talk to later to finish out some of those questions. Back to you, Kyle. We'll start with you again. The position of mayor does not have voting rights, unless it's a tie. And many people view that as a lack of ability to assist with real change. With that said, why do you want to be mayor?
Well, you don't have voting rights, but you have huge influence as mayor. And that's what I want to do as mayor, is go out and visit with some of the businesses and try and build a coalition with them. Karen's been talking about it. That's exactly what we need to do. We need to build coalition with some of the different businesses. We also need a better seat at the table. We need to go from the number 9th largest city in California to the 5th largest city. And we can do that through annexation. That's something that would be something I'd like to look at and see if we could do as a city. It's important for us to have a better voice here because our needs are so much different than other parts of the state. So these are some things I would like to work on as mayor, and I'm excited about it. This is right down my alley of expertise. So.
Karen, you can't vote, but so why do you want to be mayor?
I want to be mayor to take what is already so good about our city and make it a place for all people, to maximize our city for all people. I'm equally comfortable in a Fortune 500 boardroom as I am sitting on the riverbed with a homeless person. Equally comfortable with all ethnicities. I've had that range of just being out there, consistently representing them. I want to be mayor to be able to bring economic development to our community, to create safe and clean neighborhoods, to create educational opportunities. And as mayor, while you don't have a vote, you have that voice. You have that ability to get a seat at the table for our community. That's what we all need. Mayor Hall has done a wonderful job in giving his very, very best for us. And now it's time just to take it up another notch. We have that ability as a community as we unite our hearts and our lives in service one to another. Coming back to the point of service, that's really what it's all about. That is who Karen Go is.
Kyle, I see sort of a subtext in this question that I just asked, and that is, you don't have a vote on the council, but Harvey Hall has been sort of a referee at times. He's charged with kind of bringing people together and developing consensus with them. Where are you with that? Can you do that kind of thing?
Oh, absolutely. As a home builder and a developer, that's what I've done for the last 41 years. Take, for instance, the 24th Street. If I had been mayor, and I'm not condemning anything anybody's done to this point, but I don't think we would have the lawsuits that we have right now. I would have jumped right in the middle of that and tried to straighten that out and be an advocate between the city and between those people to try and fix that. And the same thing with the Centennial Corridor. Those are things that mayors should be jumping into, I feel, and if that's what I would do if I were mayor.
Karen, mayor as a mediator and a referee.
That is who I am. My job in New York and the growth of my jobs in New York actually were created because of that ability. The ability to bring disparate worlds together to have conversations. I would bring the finance contracts people together with the creative people who were fiscally irresponsible, but coming together to make a #1 product. That continues in my service currently, where I bring disparate worlds together. The police, those who are coming out of criminal activity. We come together for more effective solutions. When you bring diverse perspectives, you can have more effective solutions.
Karen, I'll go right back to you. This is a little bit on the same lines. Mayor Hall has set the bar quite high in positively promoting our community at all levels, county, state, national, and international. What are your plans in reference to carrying out the legacy he leaves behind? How about a slogan, unity in the community? Explain how you would unite folks in Bakersfield.
Unity in the community. What a wonderful legacy to take forward. And that's exactly what it has to have. What has to happen. Actually, The Atlantic just came out with 11 qualities of a successful city. And one of them is when we are able to get past our political differences and look at how we can be united. When we bring different perspectives, but look at the commonality of what we really share on the extremes. When we have so much in common, where we care about our children, we care about our education, we care about economic development, we care about safe and clean neighborhoods. Oftentimes people have said, you are one who is the diplomat who can bring those people together. And I intend to do that. Thank you, Mayor Hall, for your legacy. I'm proud to continue that on.
Kyle, promoting Bakersfield at all levels, county, city, state, international.
Well, again, I applaud Mayor Hall for the job that he's done. He's done a great job in that over the last 16 years that he has been mayor. And I think that I could probably do it and take it up a notch or two. I think it's really easy to have dreams and have pie in the sky platitudes that you point to, but it's another thing to actually get something done. And if you look at my past, it's been a past of a guy that's got a whole lot of stuff done. I built a whole lot of this city and put a whole lot of this together. And you don't do that by acting alone. You do it by bringing people together and working together with different ones and pulling together. So a business is a lot like a city. You have all these different entities and everybody's arguing inside and everybody's pulling the direction that they want to go. So that they can get their way. And I've had to deal with that for the last 41 years. So I think I'm well equipped to do that. It's been something I've done for the last 11 years.
Karen, I want to pull out a little portion of the question I just asked about Mayor Hall's slogan, unity in the community. It's a great slogan, but in a lot of communities around the United States right now, there is disunity. There's a lot of issues going on. And some of that has shown up in Bakersfield, thankfully not as much as in other places, but what do you do to bring us together and keep us together?
Every person has to feel a part, is a part, and then become a contributor. They have to be able to be embraced in such a way that they have value. And being able to take someone who has very different skills, bring them to the table. That's what it's about, being able to have those conversations. You talked about international. The other day I was privy to welcome our guests from Wakayama through the Sister City Project. And they had in common with us education. That was our commonality. Come together on the areas of commonality.
Kyle, promoting unity. What can we do to stay united, become more united?
Well, I think we take the problems that we have and we work on them. We work on them together. Problems are some people look at problems. I look at it as opportunities, and there are opportunities to unite us as well. So, we talked about water a little bit. We talked about education. We talked about crime. These are things that we can work on together. We can find that common ground to start solving some of these problems. I've been a problem solver my entire life, and there's an act to it. There's a system to it. So,
Okay. We'll start again with you, Kyle. This next question is about business, and you've already talked about generally some of your experience, how you're a business-minded guy. I mean, you both talked about this, but now very specifically, can you tell me what kinds of businesses, write down maybe to the name of a specific business, you would like to see come to Bakersfield? What areas can we develop our economy here in Bakersfield?
oh my. There's a lot of them. Current Community College District just we got a 4-year baccalaureate degree there. And I was so proud of our people because a lot of the other districts were thinking of stuff like nursing and oral, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, they were thinking of all these different things that are kind of inside the box deals. Well, they came up with automation. And I thought that was just so important to us because it touches every industry there is. So the more industries, the more diversified we can be in what we invent and what we create, the better off we will be. Also, I spoke about hydroponics. That's something that we really need to do here. We've been working on a hydroponics lab at Kearney Community College District, or I have anyway, and it would be a way to we could specifically design different kinds of fruits and vegetables and at critical times give them the nutrients and the water and the things that they need to grow better and grow more efficiently. So it's just endless what we can do.
Karen, specifically, what kind of business can we bring to Bakersfield?
Diversification, of course, is very important. Agriculture, the oil, those are foundations of what we have. But the more we're able to diversify, that's going to make all of the difference. Here's one aspect, technology. We often think of up north as being a technology hub. But what if we were somehow able to integrate into our existing businesses technology and innovation? I've been meeting with a group now who, young people who have the technology mind, however, they need the business partner. And so when we're able to bring those groups together, we become a more attractive place where we have a skilled workforce, where we have solutions here for others. We become a more skilled workforce for a variety of businesses. So whoever's going to come here and support our economy, great. It doesn't have to be one specific. Of course, we have logistics here that seems to be a natural. And the skilled workforce is, though, what we have to have first to attract those businesses.
Kyle, more thoughts on bringing business and the type of business we need here?
Yeah, again, logistics is a big thing now. It seems to be the catchword. We worked on that 30 years ago. I bought 532 acres from the north of the river sewer district, and we put in a tax-free zone there. So we've been working on this for many, many years. But in China, they were doing their industrial revolution that they had there, and they would create these factories that make widgets, they make things, and you take your plant and say, I want to make this, and we'll roll out 5,000 of them, and then somebody else comes in and roll out 5,000 of something else. I'd like to have a couple of those here, to tell you the truth.
Karen, we're in a great location here, just north of Los Angeles. We're kind of the center of everything. How do we take advantage of that and build business here in Bakersfield?
From a location standpoint?
From a location standpoint.
we do have that perfect location. And so being able to continue to invest in infrastructure, in transportation, so we have that ability to transport what we need out of here, being able to get the good news out there. I hear from current EDC that people don't realize how close we are to LA. Don't talk about it in miles, talk about it just in driving time. And when they come here, they are really surprised. So our job is to get people to come here by telling them the right story of our community.
Karen, I'll go right back to you. In your organization, your business, the organization that you run, how did you measure success and accountability? And would you consider yourself successful? And if so, why?
In the current organization that I run at Garden Pathways, we have two ways. One is just standard metrics, and you want us to be able to see growth, number of people who complete a certain goal. But we also take those small things and we celebrate life changes, because that also is a part of an important aspect of changing the future of our community. And McGraw-Hill Fortune 500 company, you can imagine how we measured that. So that was return on investment. I had $75 million projects with $50 million projects with 25 all happening concurrently at the same time. And we had to return to the investors an appropriate amount. Being number one in the product line didn't hurt either. So many different ways, but also celebrating those small successes that are the human successes. We can do all of those other metrics, but we have to be able to touch lives. We have to be able to touch the poorest, those who are the most impoverished and underserved, and measure those small successes.
How do you measure success and accountability?
Well, I think ultimately it's money, isn't it? I mean, the guy with the most money is the one that wins. But when I had Kyle Carter Homes, we did very well there monetarily. We managed our funds very well, and we were able to grow a company that basically had no money. And at the end, we had some money. We had some things some money that we could spend on different things. Also training. We trained from the ground up. We would take a guy, and if he would come in, we would start him on a broom. And if he did well on a broom, we'd give him a shovel. And if he did well with the shovel, we'd teach him how to run a tractor. When I sold Kyle Carter Homes, the people that were running the three largest building companies in town were people that I trained personally. I'm very proud of that. So training personnel was something that I loved doing, and we heavily trained our people. Making money, making funds, making something out of nothing is another thing that I enjoy doing. I've bought thousands and thousands of acres of land with no money, and so I'm used to doing things with nothing and making something out of nothing.
Karen, making money, or at least not losing money, is highly desirable in business and in any enterprise. What are some other ways that we measure success?
Other ways we measure success is our responsiveness to the needs of our community. Whatever it is, whatever sector of the community it is, business, it could be farming, it could be those who are coming out of homelessness. It is being responsive to their needs, meeting those individual needs with effective solutions, not lumping one size fits all. That's what we've come to see about many populations, is that you cannot apply a blanket solution. To be able to get in there and dig and really understand the issues and see the change, the life change, that is in addition to the formal metrics that we all use in business.
Kyle, other ways to measure success?
Bakersfield Homeless Center. And I got to just tell you a little quick story there about, we've got, over the last couple of years, we've had 3 different high school seniors that came in, and they're pulling a 4.0 living in the homeless center. That's just an amazing thing. It's something you think that somebody's in a homeless situation like that can pull 4.0. And the reason they say they do it is because they don't want to be like their parents. They want to break that chain, and they want to start a new life. That's something that as mayor that I want to take and work on and congratulate and make more happen. It makes me happy to do those kinds of things as well.
All right, let's go to our closing remarks. You each have 2 minutes to kind of sum things up. Karen?
Greater things are yet to come in our city, and I'm convinced that that is to come. That's why I adopted those words in my campaign, and today kind of talked about practically what we need to do to make those greater things happen big picture. We want to take Mayor Hall's unity in the community and take it deeper into every neighborhood so everyone feels a part, and is a contributor to our community. That's critical to achieving greater things. I've talked about 3 specific areas: job and the economy, making our community business friendly. Secondly, crime. Reducing crime, we're not there yet, but my background and experience lends itself to that. And then education. If we do more as a city, we can have that unity of purpose to teach technical skills, job readiness, and have that workforce that is going to make it attractive to attracting future economic development. What sets me apart? I believe my depth of experience in business, reaching to the top floor of a Fortune 500 company in Manhattan, and going to the streets of Bakersfield, walking the streets of Southeast Bakersfield and understanding what that is. Being in Lamont, in a shed, having that person who is giving their very best, but understanding that whole range of needs. There's a famous movie line that goes, who you're going to call. Who are you going to call? If you want a mayor with depth of experience in business, who are you going to call? If you want a mayor with vision but practical plans, who are you going to call? If you want a mayor who's been there consistently for the last few years, where people say she is everywhere, I'm talking about consistency in every part of the community. Who are you going to call? If you want a mayor who is going to make our to be an advocate for keeping our taxes, fees, regulations in check, improving our transportation, providing efficient city services, who are you going to call? I ask for your support and vote, and I ask that you join me in being excited about the greater things that are yet to come. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Karen. Kyle Carter, closing remarks.
Closing remarks. Again, I think for me it's about jobs, definitely always jobs here in Bakersfield, education, and crime. Those are the 3 biggies right there. And you want to step down from there, it's water. We need to work on our water issues. So these are some of the big things that I want to work on as mayor of Bakersfield. I feel like I have the most experience here in this. I've been doing this for 41 years, and I don't really have to tout my experiences. I can point to them. I can say, hey, look around Bakersfield. There's not very many places in Bakersfield where you don't run into something I've actually done. Tangible things that you can see I've done with my hands. I can point to those all over town. I don't have to brag about them. They're already there. So that's me in a handbag. I mean, I'm a workaholic. I work all the time. I enjoy working. I'm excited about the future of Bakersfield. I'm excited about some of the demographics that we have coming up. I'm excited about the way that we can take this city of ours if we choose to. I'm excited about the opportunities that we can take advantage of. And I'm very concerned if we don't actually do that. I'm concerned with what will happen to our city. We need a leader that's tried, that's proven, that's done the job for 41 years as I have. She says, who are you going to call? Well, I would call me. Because I've done it. I started out at the bottom and I've worked my way up. So I've owned, I haven't ran, I've not only ran, but I've owned a $100 million a year company that I started from nothing. I got up to $100 million a year in revenue. You don't do that. There's 1% of the companies in the United States that have ever done that. I've done that. I've done so many things in this community to help other people, and I don't brag about it a lot. I just go out and do it. Out of time again.
Well, thank you. We've powered through this with such efficiency that we still have a little bit of time. So we weren't planning to do this, but we are going to take at least a question or 2 from the audience, and Kim will facilitate that.
Okay.
Trying to keep your questions as succinct as possible.
Thank you. I'm a veteran, and I haven't heard anything said about the homeless veterans in the city of Bakersfield. I'd like to know if there's anything in the way of some kind of plans to help alleviate the homeless and particularly the homeless veterans. Thank you.
Good question. Karen?
Mr. Leon, you know I'm always there for Honor Flight. You are one who has given your life for our country, and thank you so very much. Thank you for your service. Yes, indeed, we need to take care of our homeless veterans. I'm already in discussion with somebody who is creating something for homeless veterans. We need to be able to say thank you to you and continue that service. So as I have been doing, showing up for honor flights, whether it's at 4 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock at night, month after month, every flight. That's because I believe that you are so important. Mr. David, thank you very much for your service. We salute you too.
Tyler? Almost veterans.
Well, as I said, when I ran a big corporation, I had all these different departments coming through and saying, hey, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for me? And it's important to know that that's a balancing act that goes on as the head of a big company or as a mayor of the city. And you have to take care of everybody. You can't just take care of the veterans. You can't just take care of the sheriff's or the police department or the fire department or whoever's wanting more money at the time. It has to be spread evenly. So I think it's important for us to keep that in mind. As far as the veterans go, we do have a lot that we owe to our veterans. We ask an awful lot from our 18-year-olds that we send them out to war, and they come back all beat up and what have you. And I think that we owe them an awful lot, and we need to do more, certainly here. I heard somewhere where Bakersfield actually has one of the largest veterans populations in the nation. So as a city, I think that we can step up to the plate and do more, and that's why we started the Mayor's Council. The Mayor's Council is something that we put together that can address issues such as this and vet out what we can actually do. And it's not just one person working on it. It's there's 20 of us on that Mayor's Council now. So,
Do we have time for another question, Ken?
Yeah.
My name's Alex Dominguez, and I'm the current ASI Student Government President for CSU Bakersfield, and past Student Government President for Bakersfield College. So just as a representative of the students, what do you plan to do in order to represent those students, nearly 20,000 at Bakersfield College and 10,000 at CSU?
Kyle, want to start?
well, I actually am doing that now. I'm a trustee at the Bakersfield, at the current community college district, which is Bakersfield College. Every that comes across my desk or across my email that I have to deal with, and I think we do it pretty efficiently. So I'm already doing that now, and I find it's it can be tedious at times, it can be strenuous at times, but it's very, very rewarding. It's something I very much enjoy doing. Again, vocational training, I think, is probably one of the most important things that we need to focus on here to get diversity in our different jobs and our different employment base that we have here. So paying attention to the students at Bakersfield College and UCSB that's a critical thing that we have to do, and I am doing it right now. So,
Karen?
We're number 2 in the nation for millennial job growth and population growth. So yes, you indeed are very important. When you're the mayor for all, when you have that caring, it's developing relationship and understanding what your gap is. So again, not going back to one size fits all, because you're all very different. And being able to connect on an individual level, on a group level, to understand what your issues are. Been at BC over and over again to celebrate in your many supporting avenues of the community, helping you to understand how to even mentor each other better. Been privileged to be able to do that. Been there for your Hispanic groups, for your African American groups, as you call the community in. And so that process of engagement, don't you think that is key? It's really engaging. It's much more than doing lip service. We think you're great, but getting you involved, having you be our advisors, that's a commitment to have your voice be heard. Alex, thank you.
One more question. Okay.
You know, for many years, I've watched Bakersfield ignore one of the most to me, the best asset they might have. We're known the world over for the Bakersfield Sound. We're as famous for Bakersfield Sound as we are the heat. And some of the most important people in the world have come from this town. Yet, our leaders seem to ignore this Bakersfield Sound and the opportunities that are there with country music. They've let Austin, Texas take over, and more so than that. For years and years, we were called the Nashville of the West, but we haven't cashed in on that. I'm 100% in the wind that we could tie into that and take advantage of the big advertising for the world over.
I did not plant that question. Karen, you want to take that first?
What a treasure we have, and Kyle, thank you so much for your investment in the Bakersfield Hall of Fame. Thank you, Kim, being out there and embracing that Bakersfield sound. That is part of our rich heritage. The Bakersfield sound extends to that music, wonderful, wonderful genre. The Bakersfield sound also, though, in another sense, extends to the symphony. The Bakersfield sound also extends to trout. The Bakersfield sound extends to mariachi. When we have those wonderful celebrations, that is the Bakersfield sound. But yes, going specifically back, let's continue to highlight that. And Kyle, thank you so much for your investment in the community to highlight that kind of sound. Thank you.
Kyle?
Well, I thank you for that question. We started, my wife and I started the Bakersfield Music Hall of Fame. It's not just country music, it's all genres. We put no limit on the different genres that we have there because we do want to embrace it. That is a gateway, it's a way for people to get into the music business and enjoy music. You can take it from the business end, you can take it from the artist end, or you can take it just the listeners end. Any one of those can come in and take part at the Bakersfield Music Hall of Fame. It's kind of funny because we really didn't plan on it being a museum, but people have brought us so much artifacts, so many things, and they say, hey, put this in the museum. We said, well, it's not really a museum. And but we think we're going to make it a museum now because that's what Bakersfield wants it to be. So we're seeing it take on a different avenue that we hadn't really planned on in the beginning, but we're willing to make that change and do whatever Bakersfield wants it to be. So we're going to have our first induction in October too. So if you'd like to come to that, it would be great.
All right. Well, thanks very much. I want to again thank the Kern County Farm Bureau, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce, and the Board of Realtors. There are going to be 2 more of these forums, or I guess they're not debates, but forums involving 2 other races. And keep your eyes peeled in Bakersfield, California, because we will let you know when those are. And tonight with us is the Chief Executive Officer of the Californian, Michelle Chantry. Michelle's right here in the front. Talk to us. Talk to us if you have any ideas or suggestions, anything that the California can do for you. Talk to Michelle, talk to me, because we're here to listen. So thanks very much. Appreciate everybody coming tonight. Thank you.
Good job, guys. Thank you very much. Good job.